Okay, in this video I'm just going to go through some calculator techniques. So generally you start in your main menu, okay, looks like something like this. To clear something, okay, clear all, okay, clears all the data. Now, there's also a what's called clear all variables. Now, I'll just bring up the keyboard. We can actually store numbers or other values inside x's and y's and z's. So I'll just show you how to do that because it is very handy sometimes. Um, so let's say we want to store x equals 5 into the variable x. So what we say is 5, or our number, and what this little arrow here, okay, that means we're going to store the number 5 into x. Okay, and click enter. Now every time we put x, okay, we're going to have the answer as 5. So x squared, for example, so what we hope to get is 5 times 5, so 25. So let's try x squared, and there we go, we get 25. So an equation sometimes, okay, we might have x plus 2, x take 5, and x plus 2, plus 3. Okay, so what we've done is we're going to say what happens when we put 5 into that equation. So we're finding what happens at the point 5. So instead of having to write in 5 every time, we can just click or write our equation, store 5 into it, and we should get the answer. So actually it turns out to be 0. So that's not a very good example. Let's put 6 there. So minus 56. So if you normally what you would do would be you'd say 5 plus 2, 5 take 6, and 5 plus 3, and you'd have to type that in every time and you'll get the same answer. Okay, so how is this handy? Well, if I just clear, actually up here, I can just change this number. So that's what happens at x equals 5, we get minus 56. So what happens if we want to check now what happens at x equals 7? So all I have to do is just change this number here to 7. So now we're storing 7 into x. Okay, click enter and we get 90 for this one. So instead of having to type in 7 plus 2, 7 takes 6, undo. Yep, I haven't done it. Never mind. Okay, so we get 90 for 7. So really handy. The only problem is that every time we put x in now, so let's say we get another question, that might be question 2, we go on to question 3, it has a different equation, and it's looking at what happens at x cubed plus 7x plus 10 or 20. Okay, well, when we click enter, it's actually going to work out what happens at 7 cubed plus 7 times x plus 20. So what we need to do, okay, so you might go, okay, I need to redo this all again. So I'll clear all, that's all fine, it's all gone. Okay, the problem is it hasn't all gone. So every time we put x again, so it might be x cubed plus 7x plus 20. Okay, this is the new equation we're working with. If we click enter, it's still stored x as 7 into that equation. So to be able to clear it, we need to do clear all variables. So clear all variables should come up with this. So are you sure you want to clear all variables? Okay. So now let's try it again. We can copy and drag it down, and let's hope that it works. So there you go. We get, okay, that when we stored x equals 7 into it, it's now back to normal. So that's what clear all variable means. So if we store a value into x or y or z or any other number, every time we put that into it, it's going to, whatever we stored it as is going to work. So clear all variables gets rid of all that as well. Okay, so two handy things. As I said, it is very handy and having to, rather than typing it in every time. So that's that little button in Math 1, that button there. Okay, I might go into the next bit. Solving. So let's say we have x cubed plus 7x squared plus 9x take 7. Okay, don't know what this is going to look like. Let's say we have that equation. And it's asking us to find the x-intercepts. Now we can do it by hand, and that's what we've been practicing over the last few chapters. Sometimes we just need to check whether we've got the right answer, and it's a good thing to check your right answer on your calculator, and it gets in the habit of working it out. So how can we use our calculator to find what the x solutions are for, or the x-intercepts for this equation? Well, if we drag this down and actually no, clear that. Go up to interactive, advanced, and solve. Now our equation is the previous, so I can say answer or I can type it in, doesn't really matter. You can type it in there, and we're going to solve it when it equals 0, because generally we say something squared plus something x plus something equals 0. Okay, we solve for our x-intercept. So we're trying to find x, yes, okay. So it's finding this equation, our answer, the previous line earlier, into x, into there, that answer, and it's solving for when it equals 0, and there's our solutions. Minus 4.8, and x equals minus 2.6, and x equals 0.53. Not very nice numbers. Okay, they're in decimals. If you need to change it into fractions, or sometimes we get cube roots, etc., just tap down here where it says decimal and change it to standard. And then click enter again. Now it's thinking, and it's likely to be horrible numbers. That's just because of the equation that I've put. So there's a little loading sign down here. It's thinking about it, and this is not going to end well. It's thinking about it, and let's try and clear it. Let's not do that. I can't. Okay, I think I've just broken the calculator. Alright, I'm going to pause the video until this works. Oh, hang on. There you go. Okay, there you go. So there's the answer in standard form. So, really ugly. That's worse than what I anticipated. You got cos and tan in there. That is horrible. Okay, so in this case, yep, that's huge. Okay, really bad example. Okay, sometimes you get that, so don't use that example. So that's the accurate values for our x-intercepts. So let's do something nicer. Let's say x squared plus 12x and I'll say, actually I'll go 7x plus 12. Okay, and so now in here I'll go advanced solve. Our equation is going to be the line that I've just written in, and we're going to solve it for when it equals 0. Okay, we get two solutions, x equals minus 4, x equals negative 3. Okay, so that's our solutions for x. Now, you can use that, so that's finding the x-intercepts. I can also do our factor.